I'm Austine Flynn, and I'm Yedda's mom.
I'm Bob Flynn, and I'm Yedda's pop.
We've been practicing together for 25 years now, and we still practice every day together. That's how we start our day. Being intentional about your relationship. And it's taken our relationship to a deep, deep place that would never have happened had we not known this and practiced this together on a daily basis.
For sure, and not just our marriage relationships, but our relationships in general with the children, with the grandchildren, in the business world, with our friends, and so on.
Yes.
Being much more mindful about the interaction, being in the present moment, and being alert to the way I'm coming across, the way my thoughts are working, the way my conversation's working, whether I'm responding versus reacting. It's being in the present moment and being alert.
What mindfulness means to me is a lot of those same things, and it just means living fully in the present moment, not thinking about the future, not obsessing over the past, just being right here, right now, knowing that's where all of my power is.
I've grown exponentially as a result of learning about mindfulness and all the components of it. It's improved my life and my relationships exponentially.
I hit my bottom, and my bottom was through depression, anxiety, alcohol. I found myself in a place where I really didn't want to live anymore. And that's what it took for me, because I was just every day waking up and reacting to life. And my life was a train wreck. And so when I hit my bottom, it was like my brain cracked open. And finally, I was quiet and I could hear and I listened. And that was the beginning of my journey into mindfulness and living intentionally and living from a place of stop, think, choose a response.
I think basically when I hit my bottom, my personal bottom, and I realized that I had to make some changes in my life, that I needed to determine exactly, specifically what those changes were, and then to commit to them, to commit to actually do them. I didn't know it was a shut up and sit moment, but as I began to learn from Yedda and learn from Mom about these sort of things, that's what I related to. I've had many more shut up and sit moments. I have them all the time that I say, Bob, you need to shut up and think about this and not react as much. Don't be so reactive. Be more responsive and not reactive. It's proven to both of us through what it's brought to us in our relationship and in life in general, just how powerful it is.
I think mindfulness should be addressed in everyday life, starting with pre-K. I honestly believe it's the most important thing you can teach, and it's life-changing. I think it would solve so many problems in the world if we lived mindfully.
It impacts my life the most in my relationship with Austine, in my relationship with my wife, because we spend a lot of time together. I'm just as interested in her today as I was the first time we met. And so I want to continue to become a better husband, a better dad, a better granddad. And so just in my relationship with her and with the kids and the grandchildren, and then beyond that, but those are the most important aspects of it from my perspective.
Where mindfulness shows up the most for me, I would say, would be absolutely relationships. Yes. With myself and with others.
That's a great point, my relationship with myself.
Yes.
My relationship with myself has gotten better and continues to get better. I continue to like myself better and admire myself better than I ever have as a result of being mindful about my relationship with myself. I came into Yedda's life when she was about 20 years old, so she'd been through a lot of stuff at that point. And what I took away from her story is the fact that if she can do it and get where she is today and be the kind of person that she is today, and we all know how dynamic and Yedda is, and how charming she is, and how astute she is, and how smart she is, and all of the things that she is. If you can go from where she was, from 0 to 100, then anybody can do it if you follow the process.
Yedda has been in some very, very deep, dark places. Places that it would be easy to give up. And she got up and she started over again and again and again and again. And she never, ever gave up. It led her to the place of total surrender, where she really got clear what she wanted. She was willing to do the work, let the past go, focus on the future. And when I see all that she has been through her whole life, that when I look at that, I can say, anybody, I don't care what your situation is, how hopeless you feel it is, anybody, when you do this work, if Yedda could make it from there to where she is today, it is possible for every person on this planet. And that being her mom and watching her and all she's gone through, she is my inspiration and my hero, because I believe and I know that I can do anything.
Yedda's where she is because she's willing to do things other people aren't willing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she's willing to stick with it. And so, you know, when you go through hell, keep going. And that's what she did. Keep going.
You know, I think early on when Yedda said, because I would say, gosh, when she would tell me something, I'd say, Yedda, gosh, that's hard, or that's going to be hard. She said, Mom, who wants the easy stuff? And she was up for the challenge. She always was. It was like, bring it on. I got this.
I would describe her growth as exponential. She's gone from 0 to 100, like I say, and she's just pressed on with everything that she's done, gotten better and better, gotten a clear vision of where she wanted to be versus where she was, took the steps that were necessary, worked through the setbacks, the headwinds, and that's the way I would describe it.
What emotional intelligence means to me is that your emotions are energy in motion, and your emotions are created by your thoughts. And I never knew that. And so when I got that, it was life-changing, because, hey, if I can be aware of my thoughts and change my thoughts, I can master my emotions. And I had never, ever understood that my whole life. That's why I was all over the board. And so by doing that, I have all the power. I went from powerlessness to being empowered.
The light for me is a love-based vision. It's having a specific love-based vision. And by that, I mean a vision of things that you love actually coming into fruition. And when Mom and I first met, one of the first things we did is we established a specific love-based vision. This is the vision for our relationship. This is the vision for our finances. This is the vision for our health. This is our vision for raising the children and the grandchildren and relationships with our family and with each other. So we had a specific love-based vision in every major aspect of our life, and I mean detailed, down to the nth degree. So we got it, so we knew when we were on base or off base. As an example, we can make a major decision in 15 minutes max, because we compare it to the love-based vision. And if it doesn't fit the love-based vision, then we don't do it. We just don't do it. So many people today are so scattered. They bounce from one thing to another. And you got to focus in, you got to dial
Yes.
it in, because what you focus on expands, and you can only focus on so many things. You can only do so many things with excellence. And so does this complicate our life, or does this make our life simpler? That was another question that we asked ourselves that made the decisions a lot easier. And we've been true to that, and we've gotten better and better at it. We've been true to it. And as a result of that, we have a life that I couldn't even imagine. I imagined it in the vision, but it's so much bigger and better than the vision. We said the other day, we looked at each other and we said, do you realize that every one of our dreams have come true? Every dream that we had, that we listed when we first met, that we wanted to come true, that was a part of that love-based vision, has come true today. We're sitting here now talking about Yedda. And many years ago, we didn't think we'd be sitting here talking about Yedda in this context, and look at what she's accomplished. It's just turned out to be even better than we thought it could be. And that's the beauty of the whole thing. That's the beauty of mindfulness.
Living with the lights on. I was just stumbling in the darkness. Had no idea what to do next, a future, a plan, a vision. That was rocket science to me. And living consciously with a love-based vision, it's just like what Bob said. It is I can't imagine how I couldn't make one decision. I could not make one decision without that love-based vision, because everything's based on that. Does this lead us closer to our vision or take us away from it? And so that's living consciously and living with the lights on.
But I would say that Yedda has become a role model for me. That I have seen her do some things that's caused me to think, you know what, Bob? You still got some gas in the tank. You still got some things that you can do if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to put your mind to it, if you're willing to do the things that got you where you are, you're willing to step out.
But just watching her on her journey and how she's never given up, she's not afraid of hard work, that she has an extremely open mind, that she's very, very curious. She always asks questions. I would say absolutely Yedda is a role model to me, and not many mothers could say that. She calls me, oh my gosh, Mom, you gotta read this book. Oh Mom, I went to this conference. Oh, I gotta tell you all about it. And so I feel so blessed that I have been alongside her on this whole journey, because I get to learn from her experience, and then she gives me the essence of it. So it's just a great journey that we have had together as mother and daughter.